All right, so here we have our Glute Max Kickback, okay? And now this is one that you're gonna see a lot of people in the gyms doing it, where they're doing their typical Insta-fluencer kickback of some sort, right? And you know, I'm not gonna say that doesn't work, because clearly there's some anecdotal evidence that shows that that is pretty effective for a lot of those Insta-fluencers. But at the end of the day, we're probably gonna get a little bit more of an overall benefit in terms of stimulating that bigger part of the glute from this Glute Max Kickback specifically, as opposed to, again, maybe just hitting it in the shortened position where a lot of people are going with their kickback. So let's hop up here, Marina. Now, again, what we might have the availability of in certain gyms is a different attachment that might be a little bit more sturdier, a little bit more stable. You can also purchase these on, you know, Amazon or whatever it might be. But here we're gonna work with a typical attachment that everybody has at the gym, and then we have a little bit of a step. Again, our gym is cool enough to where the owner made this step for us, and it just happens that it worked out perfectly for most people in terms of the height here. But what we want to do is we want to get this cable in a position where this is high enough to when we get the leg in there, that now as she pushes down a little bit, just a little bit, don't go all the way through. Now she's in that perfect starting position where, again, the glute is fully lengthened, this cable is pulling up, and it's essentially loading the glute in that lengthened position here, right? Something that you're not going to get out of the typical kickback when the cable's down here and we're pushing back that way, right? So now we're in a perfect position. She can even hinge a little bit more at the torso to, again, get that length in a little bit, and then we're coming down and we're coming back just a little bit more, squeezing the glutes together, right? So we're still gonna hit that shortened position, but here we're really gonna take advantage of this, load in the lengthened position, come down, kick back, and it's almost thinking about rotating that glute into the other one. Boom. So again, just a few things to consider here that we see with people. A, brace that midsection. B, make sure that you have a stable enough surface to work off of, right? And then C, make sure you're setting yourself up well enough to where as you get this leg up, you have that cable still pulling, right? It's not resting. Some people will set it up where that cable is now resting at the top. We don't want that, right? We want to be in a position where that cable is, again, working against our glute at that top position, and then we could drive through, right? Some people will set up on the floor and they'll just use a 25-pound plate that they'll stand on. Sometimes that won't be enough added depth for her to get her foot. You can see as she's coming down here, this foot is, right? We need a little bit more depth there rather than just standing on the floor, so to speak. But that is our Glute Max Kickback.